Yes, good day. Welcome to this episode of Winning with Customer Service. Jane Witemi, welcome. Pastor Ian, welcome. Good to see you, sir. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Um, Today on Winning with Customer Service, we'll be talking about the consequences of poor customer service. And I have my friend Oluchi Ukafo coming to join me today. She'll be joining us anytime soon, and as soon as she's here, I'm going to add her up to talk in the next few minutes about the consequences of poor customer service. Yes, Oluchi is here already, so I'm not going to waste any further time. I'm going to bring Oluchi on ASAP. All right, so like I said earlier, before Oluchi comes in, we will be looking at the consequences of poor customer service. My madam.
How are you, sir?
My madam. I know you were going to go there, so let me go first.
You anticipated me on that one. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing too?
I'm well. It's good to see you. Good to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored.
Yes. A very good afternoon to you, and a very good afternoon to everyone watching live now. I see a few persons online. Welcome, everyone joining. As you already know, Oluchi is my guest today. Is a customer service person. She's someone who has been in the space for a long time. And as you might have known as Nigerians, for those of us watching and those who will watch this after now, by the way, Oluchi, this is going to be on our customer CSExperience Podcasts.
Yeah.
I see all your faces you're making. It's going to be on our CSExperience Podcast. So a lot of people are going to be listening to this on other platforms after now. So whatever we're sharing is going to be of benefit to a lot of people.
Yeah.
We already know that customer service is something that is not common in our climate. Yes, we have customer service departments. Yes, we have people put stuff up and say, oh, this is for customer service, but we really do not see the impact. Maybe we see a little, but not totally the impact of customer service on businesses. And then in our climate generally, people just don't do things right. People don't just do it the way they're expected to do it. People don't expect to treat the customer right. They assume that the customer is at their mercy because they are business people. They also assume that, oh, if I don't give it to the customer, nobody else will. But shockingly, that is not what is. That is not the norm. So today, we're going to be talking about some of the consequences of poor customer service. But before I allow you to start, Oluchi, I would like you to let the people meet you and know you correctly.
Okay, I think you've done a good job of introducing me already, but since you said I should do it myself, sure, I'll go ahead. My name is Oluchi Ukafo. I've had about 12 years of experience being across a lot of sectors. So customer service is not the only thing that I do, but it is probably the thing I'm the most passionate about. So I've worked in branding and comms, I've worked in sales and marketing, done a lot of customer interactions on the very base level of dealing with customers in my career. And then I've gone ahead to train quite a number of SMEs in this country, empower them on how to essentially create that rapport, not just create it, maintain it as well. So I'm very passionate about customer service. So I train, I teach. I also manage a school called Multimix Academy. We train specifically on supply chain management. Customer service is a huge part of supply chain management. So somehow I'm still very much in my very comfortable field. So yeah, that's who I am. I'm always happy for any opportunities to engage or discuss the topic of customer service and hopefully just enlighten people and teach them a bit more about it in a way that is not so complicated and also in a way that people can understand that it's really not rocket science.
True.
It just takes a little bit of intentionality on your part and a bit of care, human care, personal care on your part for your business. So yeah, that's who I am, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for accepting to join us today. and good to that you shared the part in supply chain, and that customer service is an essential part, because you see people in some field, they just feel that, okay, customer service is for people who are in retail, and
Yeah.
no, even in supply chain management, it's very
It's a huge
needed.
part of most industries, if you ask me, because I worked in sales and customer service is a huge part of it. I worked in brand communication. Why do you need to communicate your brand? Why do you need to put out certain statements to establish certain facts? It's because of the customers. So if you really think
True,
about it, customer service is really at the crux of every single business, every single department. Even accounting itself, you're going to have to deal with customers at some point in terms of inflow and outflow, refunds and all of
true.
that. So there's no area of business where the customer service side of things will not be considered.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So it's one sector where that cuts across every form of business. If you are in business that deals with people, whether B2B, whether B2C, customer service is key.
Very, very, very key.
All right, so we plan to talk on the consequences of not having good customer service. So I'll let you shoot. What are some of the consequences of having poor customer service in your business?
Okay. So the interesting thing about this topic is that I don't think there's anybody you're going to pick up on the streets who is not going to be able to answer this question. It's one of those basic questions, but the answers, are they as basic as the question? And also the solutions, are you as a business person willing to take them up as easy as it might sound? So
Yes.
why is customer service important before we can now talk about the disadvantages of not doing it? Because I mean, if you're going to prescribe a medicine to somebody, you need to explain to them what will happen if the medicine is not taken. But what is even this medicine
Yes.
in the first place? So customer service, classic definition would be assistance and advice provided to customers or prospects. I add prospects because people always make the mistake of saying, if you're not giving me money, why am I giving you service? Big mistake. Big
Big
mistake.
mistake.
So your prospect is your customer, your prospect is your potential customer. Your prospect maybe knows your customer, even if they don't become your customer. So you need to treat them with that same level of attention and give the same level of advice. Another layer of customer service, I always like to say that it has two parts. There's the personality part, and then there's the process part. So the personality part is where you have your soft skills, where you have your smile for the customer, greet them well, be courteous, all of that, the stuff that we love here in Nigeria, because we love respect and we love,
Yeah.
we love people to treat us specially. So all of that is the personality side, which is the attention and advice giving. There's an important side, which is the process side, which is about the quality of the goods that you're giving. So if I have asked for products, did you give me a black one when I asked for a red one? Did you give me a damaged one when I asked for a good one? Did you give me an expired one when I asked for one that's still good? So that's another layer of customer service. And to be honest with you, I think it's the most ignored layer here in this country, because we just feel that you ordered a green dress, I had the blue and I sent it to you, what's your problem? Forgetting that it's not about that. It's like, that's not what I ordered, So
True.
that part for me is super important, because you can smile all the smile in the world. You can call me Ma 500 times. You can, greet me, dobale, kneel down, do whatever. But what did I order? And what did you give me? So that's so important. So those two layers, the process and personality side, very important to anyone who wants to practice a business and also wants to please its customers. In some cases, some of us have gone to patronized places where we are sure of what we're getting, but the people are not so nice.
Yes.
Today, that's why some people would prefer to go to a general hospital any day, anytime. They're not the nicest people there. Nurses and doctors are not very nice. But guess what? People are like,
Their
well,
processes work.
yes, they know how to treat me well. Unlike me going to somebody's private hospital where they serve me tea and then kill me in the operating room. Nobody wants that ultimately. So you have to understand that those two layers are important to people in different ways. But imagine as a business, you're getting both correctly. You're getting both right. Imagine how much that sets you apart from your competition. So that's it for what customer service is, and the two parts of customer service that I believe that every business should take incredibly seriously. Now, consequences. First of all, the benefits are clear. More customers, more money in your accounts. So just as the benefits are clear, that's how the disadvantages are even clearer. In fact, the disadvantages are way more clear. than the benefits. To be, yes, it's like when you're watching a movie. Most of the time, I think a lot of people are talking about like Gangs of Lagos, so it's a fantastic movie, blah 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 blah. There are a lot of good parts of that movie, but if you notice, the parts that people are talking the most about are the very painful, sorrowful, terrible parts. It's part of being alive. The painful things are much more memorable. Even in your life,
Yes.
you've had good things happen for you, which you're grateful to God for. But somehow, when the bad things come, you're like, why me? Why me? My dad always says something very interesting to me. Whenever I'm having a hard time and I'm going, oh, why me? He goes, why not you? When the things were good, did you say why me? No. So why are you saying
Yes.
why me now? You understand? So the bad things in life tend to have a bigger impact on businesses, on people. And that's exactly the same case in what we're talking about with customer service, which is why we've chosen to talk around the disadvantages of not giving good customer service. So the first one I'll go to, I think, is the most important one, and it's the one that everybody remembers and everybody knows, which is revenue loss.
Yes.
The amount of revenue lost when customer service is not adequate is startling, it's alarming. It can take your business from 100 to -0 or minus anything that you can possibly think of. It has happened to several businesses. There are businesses that get called out for bad service, and this is not just, we're not talking Instagram businesses here, we're talking major businesses. Like we're talking airlines, we're talking airplane makers,
Banks.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not an Instagram business or small business issue. It's a big issue. I always like to give the example of when Samsung phones were blowing up in people's ears, and what that did to the company, or the level of recall that had to bring about, or even when a certain type of Boeing airline kept having crashes back to back, what that did to the business. So the revenue loss side of it it's not something that I can explain here in the next 2 hours, what that could do to your business, because
Sure.
customers equal money. No customers equal no money. It's really as simple as that. There's no plus or minus extra to that. The less customers you have, the likelihood of the less
Less
money you
money.
have. So someone might even come and argue with me, because I actually love arguments when I teach. Someone might say, okay, what if I had 10 customers and paid me 10 naira each, and then I lost 7 customers, and then the 3 customers left were giving me 100 naira each, so I still got more money. Like, okay, fine, that makes sense. I've had that conversation. Somebody's disturbing me in the comment section. So when you say that to me, my question is, okay, why did those 7 customers that were giving you 10 naira each leave? And what are they going to tell to the people that they know who had the capacity to give you maybe 1,000 naira each if they came? The long-reaching effects of bad customer service are beyond just, I was getting 10 naira, but I've upgraded. And it happens a lot in a lot of business scenarios where maybe like you were a fashion designer who used to make clothes, regular ashwebi. Then you upgraded, you now started making wedding dresses. Wedding dresses are way more expensive. I mean, the regular ashwebi dress, you might get to 30K, 40K. Then wedding dresses are like from 500K upwards. And then you have that reduced number, and you're like, I can give my Ashwebi customers can get out. I don't care anymore. I've arrived. I'm big. But you don't know that those Ashwebi customers that are paying 30K are the ones that we get married one day.
True.
And swear off you because of your behavior or the bad service that you gave them all the time. So revenue loss, I'm just going to end it there, is a big result of why people, their businesses fail sometimes when they don't give customer service. I'm just going to give 3 reasons, and then I'll go back to you so that we can kind of have a back and forth. So the second one would be increased stress. We talk a lot about mental health as a problem amongst business. I don't think there's any group of people who struggles with mental health more than an entrepreneur. It's such a tasking role, because you literally sleep in the night and everything is fine, and you wake up in the morning and something has destroyed, and you're just like, what happened? Everything was fine.
You're naturally on firefighting mode.
It's crazy. You need to be you're just something can just go wrong, something beyond your control. You could have done everything right, you could have put it all together, you could have planned it to a T, and then somehow one customer from heaven just decides that, you know what, I'm going to ruin your day today. So that's the problem with being an entrepreneur. So increased stress levels, not just on you, but on your staff as well. We talk about staff always leaving, people always leaving. Sometimes you find yourself becoming a bad boss just because of the stress of customers being so annoying. So you're not like that. That's not how you were trained at home. But somehow you just find yourself always putting pressure on your team, putting pressure on yourself, because you find out that the customers keep having complaints. And that's where that process thing I spoke to about earlier comes in.
Yes.
You don't have process, the thing is going to keep breaking down. You're going to keep looking for ways to patch it. And then again, it also extends to revenue loss in a way, because in trying to patch your reputation with your customers, you're spending money. So you're spending money on refunding them. You're spending money on bribing them with discounts. You're spending money on gifting them with things that you don't have the money to give them with right now, but you're trying to retain them as much as possible. So increased stress on you is a big one that everybody, needs to remember, and also make sure that they can manage that as well. So the third one I would say is reputation issues.
Reputation.
Yes. There's something in branding and advertising they call TOMA, TOMA. It's called top of mind awareness. What it essentially is being able to recognize what's the first thing that comes to mind when people see your name. It's like the moment of truth. There's a concept called moment of truth in customer service. It's like the first impression of a human being, but in customer service, called the moment of truth. Now, reputation issues are very important, even though some people say there's no such thing as bad press. When it comes to customer service, there is such a thing as bad press. If you're an influencer or social media person, probably there's no such thing as bad press, because we've seen it a lot. People do PR stunts with terrible things and then come out and say, oh, it was a lie. But guess what? The likes have increased, the followers have increased, the rate card has increased. So there's no downside to it. But that's if you are working in certain circles. But if you're running a business that caters to customers, there is such a thing as bad press. I beg you,
bad press.
Don't
avoid it as much as possible,
please, because you don't want to say, who cares? I went viral, I trended. You can trend for the wrong things, and the thing about that is that the effect might not come up immediately, but the internet never forgets. So
yes, it never forgets.
Years down the line, you think that it has blown over and everybody has moved on, and then you put up a post that somebody says, is this not the auntie that does not used to refund people money? Is this not your uncle that did this to the other person? And then you're like, this thing happened like 3 years ago. Can we all move on? No, we can't.
No, we haven't moved.
We will not be moving on because you did that, So the reputation issues are so important, especially in this space. You said something in the beginning about people treating customers anyhow, thinking that if I don't give to them, somebody else will not give to them.
Nobody else will give to them. They don't have an option.
Not in this day and time. And there's nothing you're selling that I cannot see 5 other people selling it with a simple search on Google or on Instagram. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing you're selling that is so true. It's not done. What are you selling? What's the thing? As see, native doctors are even on Instagram now.
I'm telling you.
So, I'm yet to see what you're selling that I can't find again. So, because of that, your reputation needs to be, the way you hold your own personal reputation, and you say, okay, my family name, all of that, you need to hold your business to that same light. You can change handles 500 times to say, okay, this was my handle before they've caught me, I need to change handles. Thankfully for Instagram, there's a place to go and check how many handles have this person had in the
how many times. Yes.
So there's no hiding place, essentially. So good service, good reputation, bad service, bad reputation. So I'll just go around the list of what I said. Again, the first one is revenue loss. The second one is...
which is very key.
Yeah. And then the third one is, reputation issues that can come up. So that's it.
Exactly. So my belief is that if business people keep these 3 things at the top of their mind, Toma, they would definitely know at every time they are making a decision, they would definitely say, okay, is this going to affect my reputation? Mm-hmm. Is it going to make me lose money? Mm-hmm. Is it going to increase stress on me? Mm-hmm. Once they can fashion every decision and action they are taking into these 3 categories, it will be easy for them to take a decision that will be favorable to them. And I want to thank you, Oluchi, for giving us this I'm trying to look for a good word to use this, checkpoints, to be able to check ourselves at every time, to know that whatever it is that we're doing, we need to be able to, because most businesses in Nigeria, in the little time I have done customer service, I've discovered that people really don't care about their revenue. They say they do, but their processes and actions show that they don't. Because how do you, let me give an example of banks, because you mentioned that many of these things happen across industries, whether SMEs or the big ones out there. How do I lose my ATM card and I walk into my bank and I have to go to 7 touch points before I get out of the bank to get my ATM card replaced? How does that happen? If you lose your ATM card today, one of the major fear is not that they will steal your money. The major fear is, how do I get this thing back?
How do I access?
You have to go into the bank, meet customer service, get a form to fill. That person signs on the form, sends you to someone else. You then go and put your fingerprint and get your BVN or whatever it is to come up. That person prints your BVN, gives it to you, and they will always tell you to go upstairs. There's always upstairs you have to go to. So they say go upstairs and
else no joy. Yeah.
They just say go upstairs and meet so person upstairs. They don't direct you, because the person that is directing you does not leave their seat. They say go upstairs. So you go upstairs stranded, and there are many other people like you there upstairs who are waiting for there, and you see a long queue, and you stand with that queue. When you are done, when you get to the front of the queue, they say, oh no, this is not the one you are supposed to be in. Oh, you want other card, you have to be in the other line. You go there. When you succeed and come back, that person just looks at one thing, and in 2 seconds, they finish looking at whatever it is they want to look at, and it gives you and say, okay, go to the other person. That one will now give you the card. That's the 4th place now. You get the card. He sends you to his manager downstairs. Manager will now sign the card. Before you will now go to where they will put the card, and you will get something. Then you will not direct you to the security man at the ATM. Say put the card, and then you put the pin, and then you come back for the final. That's 7 touch points
to get a card,
just to get your card fixed. This is not the first timer. You are a customer of the bank. They have all your details. They have checked your BVN, so they've confirmed who it is that you are. So every other thing they are doing at all the other points are just wasting your time. And why do I have to go to 7 persons? Look, if it's the time of Corona, you are just sharing Corona up and down.
Just elongated process, and I'm glad you used the banking industry specifically. A lot of these things are, how do I put it? Human beings are inherently selfish, and I think that businesses, because they are founded by human beings, are also kind of formed with that same selfishness in mind. When I say selfishness, it means, how do I make it okay for me? Not thinking about how do I make it okay for the customer. I always tell a lot of businesses, I train for people sometimes, and when I sit them down, I say, okay, so what do you do for your customers? The business owners sometimes will feel like as if, I do this for them, I do this for them, I do this for them, and they're not satisfied. And I'm like, if you are doing it for them, you sound like you're doing it for yourself, So that bank now is going through all that process, or has instituted that process to protect itself from certain things. We don't know why they're doing it that long. It's incredibly inconvenient for you, the customer. But they set it up because they are trying to protect themselves and to make sure that when they are being audited, there are no issues, yada, yada, yada. But where they failed is, how do I ensure that I'm protected, but my customers are also not strained,
also satisfied in that protection?
Missing. It's not there. They don't even.
It's not there at all.
It's not, and that's where I fault them. I'm not going to fault process. I will never fault process, but process needs to have some rhyme and reason.
The human face.
Exactly. Very important.
So when I looked at that, I said that one of the best or first ways of delivering customer service to your customers is making your processes easier.
Yes, very, very key. Very, very, very key, because
making your processes easier.
And the funny thing is, honestly, a lot of the time, I started with saying that intentionality is a big part of customer service. That intentionality means not on your own side. It means intentionality on the side of the customers. Big corporations who can afford it would usually hire people. They hire like focus groups and all of that before instituting or announcing anything. Why do they do
Any
that? Because
process
they want to understand the
to test it and
perspective.
see how it works.
Yes, and perspective is a very, very strong thing. Two people can have an argument and come here, and they always say there's his side, her side, and the truth. In customer service, you need to consider all. The truth, I need to protect my company from this. That's great. My perspective, I need to put in 7 different touch points to be able to achieve that truth I've just mentioned. Their perspective, 7 points is not what I can go through to get a card. Can't we make it 4? At that point in time, the conversation now starts. But unfortunately, that layer of understanding, that layer of perspective is completely missing because nobody's asking the customers how they feel. Nobody's trying to put people in a room to even ask questions. Sometimes you don't even need to even bring in customers. Use your team, especially if you're a big corporation. There are human beings that are in your bank that work there. They also bank because they're human beings. We all bank, whether we bank with where we work or not. We are all banking. So why not ask them if, as a consumer, because you are too close to it if you're a business owner. I always like to say your business is like your baby. The baby is perfect.
Yes.
Nobody dare tell you your baby is ugly. Your baby is the beautifulest baby ever existed. You know. So for you, take yourself out of it, and then find somebody else who doesn't really care about your baby, and ask questions and say, "Is this baby pretty or not?" And then the person tells you, and then you're able to be like, "Okay, maybe we can make the baby prettier." You understand? So
Let's
it's
add
very
some
important.
skin toning and make her
Exactly,
fair.
whatever, put an earring, put a hairband, something. So there's always going to be a bias with you and your business. Involve other people.
True.
Trust. Get them to say, okay, I think I would rather do it this way or that way. But we always miss that layer, and I think that even every business should always have that level of a check. Even if you're an Instagram business, for some Instagram businesses that have said XXX no refund, XXX no DMs. Sometimes ask people, is this okay?
Let me give you a typical example. Instagram businesses, they tell you, we have this thing to buy. They give you all the exciting, you're interested, and you see everybody asking in the comment section,
price,
how much, and they would reply every one of them. Please check your DM. Check your DM.
Yeah.
Check your DM. And when they go check the DM, they say, WhatsApp this number for details. Yep. So I have left comment section, I have gone to DM, and now you are directing me to WhatsApp. I still do not have the price of what I want to buy.
Yep, that's it.
Making the process too long.
I've discussed this with a lot of business owners, and I've heard, you won't believe the number of excuses I've heard as to why we go about this. Some people say, oh, we can't put our prices online because of the competition. They'll see it and da. Okay. Some say, oh, we can't put the prices online because we don't want to drive customers away. I argue with that very greatly, because if I see the price is not my price, I will not disturb you. I will not waste your time. I will not waste my time.
It helps you funnel your customers, Jerry. It helps you funnel.
So they always have these excuses, but it's really, really difficult to try and explain to someone over and over again the fact that if you delay my process in buying your goods, I'm not going to get a lot of satisfaction, and I'm going to go to someone who's going to respond to me quicker and faster.
True.
It's really as simple as that.
True. So let's even jump into this conversation, Loluchi, before I let you go. I know you don't have all the time, but let's jump into this conversation in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Why? First of all, the first part is, why do businesses shy away from putting their prices on, especially on Instagram? I've Googled you. I've struggled to find out that you are the person doing this. Instead of you to... It won't stress me further. So why do they do that first? You've mentioned a few now. Then why should they put it there? Maybe they should know and see the reason why they should do it and then do it right. I am of the opinion that put your price there. Let the ones who can buy come. Let the ones who can buy, they know that you do this, but I can't afford this guy now. When I can afford him, I'll go there. So what's your thoughts on that? Let's just have that take before we leave.
So regarding prices on the Instagram post, now for some businesses, I will pardon it, and I'll explain why. there are some very specific businesses that do like bespoke offerings. Bespoke meaning that you have to, it's tailored to you.
Tailored for the
Yes.
particular customer.
Good. But for even such businesses, I would even advise having a range put up.
Exactly.
Starts from, there's usually a pricing method where say, oh, the prices start from 70,000 naira to infinity and beyond. You understand? I'm fine with that. So why do they not want to do it? Some argue that because they don't want to pursue customers. My counter argument would be that there are real estate companies that put up houses on Instagram and put 50 million, 100 million. I'm not sure the bag you are selling is 100 million naira, so I don't understand what you're talking about. Expensive, you know. It's about putting it up. Who knows you knows you. Who wants to buy, we buy. I mean, it's really as simple as that. So that's one of the reasons I've gotten for people why people don't put their prices. The one I fault a lot is competitors will see that that this is the price they're selling, and then competitors will now undercut. You are running your business, they are running their business. If they say they want to reduce their own profits, except you with your chest, you know that maybe you are overpricing and you're not on market value, which in that case, okay, then say that with your chest. Say that, okay,
exactly.
Say that, okay, I don't want people to see. Nothing you can do about it, you can't beat me. That's fine. But to say that, oh, competitors are going to undercut, I struggle with that. If you're on market fair price, nobody wants to not make profits. That's my take.
True.
You understand? So, but why people should put their pricing on, and I said this earlier, it helps you avoid stress, helps the customer avoid stress. If I reach out to 5 people, I'll answer that question I'm seeing under from Doc. If I reach out to 5 people, I'm going to most likely respond to the 3 first. Whoever responds to me first is likely going to get my money, because in customer service and in response time, sometimes speed is very, very important. For me, speed is a sign of seriousness. Not always, but what me I'm seeing like this is that it is. So I'm going to, because of time, I'm just going to answer the questions instead. What about special industries like medicine? My consultation fee is XYZ. To me, it looks a bit tacky. I may be wrong. I agree with you, and that was why I gave that disclaimer at the beginning that some industries, it might be a bit tricky. And I think medicine counts as bespoke, actually, because you're going to need to know a lot of things about the customer, their history, what they want, what kind of tests they want. I mean, there's just so many variables. So for me, there are industries that are exempt, and I think medicine is definitely one of them. And I accept in some cases when, okay, I've seen some dental hospitals post 20,000 naira for teeth whitening. For me now, if a medical place can do that, why is a bad place not doing that? So for medicine,
why somebody in retail?
Yeah, so for medicine, in some cases, like in case you're running a promo shop, please by all means put up your price. But things like consultation, which again counts as a bespoke offering, it might be difficult to do that. But then again, at that point, you have lessened the number of people that are coming to your DMs, because it is now for only the bespoke guys. Those are the only guys coming to your DMs. So that's my answer on that. Somebody says
some of us have varying prices
because of the nature of our products. This week's price is different from next week's price. I can empathize with that, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's a very strong enough reason. If it changes, announce a change, state that there's a change, and again, price in a way that does not also lead to you having to change the pricing. There's something called forecasting in business. It's knowing that this thing is likely to rise in the next few days, or you can even use that as a sales tool. Guys, buy this within the next period of this thing because the price is going to change. Buy it now. You can drum up urgency, knowing fully well that the prices are erratic. It could form part of your content for your page and make people want to buy at the price they see it now, as because you cannot guarantee that it will increase. But at least put that price. Tomorrow. Yes, put that price. So I struggle with that. This one about because the price changes. I get that. We're all doing business. Forex is dancing as on our heads on a daily basis. I get it. But should we now, because of that, not put up prices? No. Instead, make the situation work for you. Like I said, create urgency with your posts. Encourage people to buy now because the price is going to change and all of that. So that's my answer to this question. So yeah, that's it for me. Post your prices if you can. If you're running a business that allows you to do it. it saves you time. It sieves out on serious, because imagine you are now doing this whole DM thing with 5 different people, and you are sending the price and they're arguing. It's just, do you people like stress in your lives?
Wahala Boju.
Do
Too
you
much
like,
wahala.
do we enjoy being stressed? So just sieve it out, make sure that people that are in your DMs are your actual customers, and life is just easier for everybody all around. That's my take.
On that note of life becoming easier, that's why we're having winning with customer service. We want everyone who's watching and who's going to listen to this after now to win with the way they serve their customers. I wrap up again with what you said about customer service being, there's the personality angle and then there's the process angle. So most times we talk more about the personality, how you smile, how you're able to talk, but we forget the processes, which is what we just hammered on now in this last part. Make the processes easier for your customer. That is the first step of customer service. Make it easy for me to buy from you. Don't let me go back and forth, I don't want to buy. Asking me question, how old are you? Where do you stay? Am I in the police station? Make it easy for me to buy. So making your processes easier and having the personality, according to Oluchi, would make your customer service much, much better. I want to thank everyone who has joined. I want to thank you, Oluchi, for coming. But let me let everyone know that I have a free gift in my bio. So if you go to my bio, there's a free gift there. I have a free PDF on what the big organizations know and don't want to tell us SMEs. They don't want us to know that the secret they are keeping from us in customer service. I have the PDF there and it's free. If you go there, you can get it. Oluchi, what are you doing new that you want everyone to know?
Currently not a lot. You actually dragged me out of studio retirement one kind to do this. So, but I think in a couple of months.
Please don't retire. We're not ready for you to retire now.
But
we still need to milk everything out.
I'll be back to teaching again full time, and when I do that, I'll definitely put out word in terms of what I have in store for people, SMEs who want to train their staff. But then again, just visit my page, scroll down, you get a lot of useful content that should help your business. And if you have any issues, you can always DM me. I'm very, very, very responsive.
Thank you for coming, Oluchi, my madam.
Malga, thank you for having me. This was very, very, very fun. Thank you so much.
Yes. I enjoyed every minute of it.
All right, cool.
Thank you for coming. By the way, I needed to mention we're classmates in the West African Association of Customer Service Professionals. She was my senior in class. I was just one of the boys in the class.
You are the host, sir. When I call you on the host, you and I are going to have this conversation again.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank
and
you
for
everyone
those
for
who
joining. Thank you everyone for being so engaging. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Oluchi. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you. And for everyone listening on the CSExperience Podcast, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you use what we shared here to do something better with your customer service in your business. Do have a nice day. Thank you for watching and listening.